Okay, let's try a little experiment. Close your eyes for a second. We're going to play a quick word association game.
Okay, I'm in.
I say Italian motoring. What's the first image that pops into your head?
Oh, I think I know where this is going. Everyone is seeing red.
Right. It's automatic. You see a Ferrari Testarossa or a Lamborghini Countach,
Of course.
maybe, if you're feeling romantic. A vintage Alfa Romeo winding along the Amalfi Coast, leather gloves, wind in your hair, the whole fantasy.
It's a beautiful image. It's also, statistically speaking, completely wrong.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to see the vehicle that actually built modern Italy, the one that kept the country moving, that fed the cities, you shouldn't be picturing a V12.
Not at all.
You should be picturing a glorified scooter with a box on the back.
A very noisy, very slow, three-wheeled scooter.
We are talking, of course, about the APE. And for anyone who doesn't know, that's spelled ATPE, but please don't call it the APE.
No, it's APE. It's the Italian word for bee.
Right, which makes sense when you think about its cousin, the Vespa.
Which means wasp.
Yeah.
One was designed to zip around. The other was designed to work. To buzz around carrying pollen, or, in this case, cement and bread and wine.
But here's why we're talking about this humble little buzzer today. As of December 2024, the buzzing has, well, it's officially stopped.
At least the Italian buzzing has.
Right. The factory in Tuscany, its spiritual home, has ended production.
Which is huge. It really is. It's not just a car model being retired. This is like finding out France is stopping production of the baguette.
It feels like a glitch in the simulation.
Yeah.
And that's the angle I want to get into. Because when I first saw the headline, I thought, okay, sad, but it's an old truck.
Sure.
But then I started reading the source material you brought in, and the public reaction isn't just nostalgia, it's grief, like real grief.
This is a cultural heartbreak.
Yeah. We have reports of people feeling betrayed. We have people hoarding spare parts like it's the apocalypse.
It's intense.
So our mission today is to figure out why. Why does a vehicle that tops out at, 40 miles per hour?
If you're going downhill with a tailwind, maybe?
Why does that vehicle inspire this kind of devotion? We're going to look at the history, the weirdly emotional connection owners have with it, and the whole controversial shift to India and electric engines.
We have to talk about the burial.
Oh, we are definitely talking about the burial. Still can't wrap my head around that one.
It's something else.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. To understand the end, we need to go back to the beginning. So take us back to 1948.
Okay, 1948. Italy is a mess. The war is over. The infrastructure is destroyed. The roads are basically rubble.
And the economy is non-existent.
Right. People are just trying to rebuild, but nobody has any money.
So you can't just go out and buy a big American-style pickup truck.
Even if you could afford one, it wouldn't fit down the streets. I mean, have you ever tried to drive a Ford F-150 through a medieval Tuscan village?
You'd get stuck between the bakery and the church.
Exactly. So the engineers at Piaggio, who had just had this massive hit with the Vespa scooter, they saw a gap in the market. They needed a commercial vehicle that was cheap, rugged, and could fit absolutely anywhere.
So they literally just took a scooter and put two wheels on the back.
That's pretty much the genius of it, yeah. It used the same front end as the Vespa.
So handlebars, not a steering wheel.
Handlebars. Same simple two-stroke engine. It was incredibly light, but because of the gearing, it could carry a huge amount of weight for its size.
I read somewhere that for a lot of Italians, this was the very first vehicle they ever owned.
For many, yes. And here's the key. This is the real unlock. The license.
The license.
Yeah. In the early days, because it was technically a motorcycle, a 50cc engine, you didn't need a full, expensive commercial driver's license to operate the smaller models.
Oh, that is a game changer.
It was massive. It meant a teenager could use it to deliver groceries. A farmer who never learned to drive a car could use it to take his olives to the press.
It democratized logistics.
It did. It allowed the poorest people to start their own businesses.
So it wasn't just a truck. It was a ticket to
the middle class, precisely. And that creates a bond. When a machine helps you feed your children, and it's the reason you can put a roof over your head, you don't look at it as an appliance.
You look at it as a partner.
Absolutely.
Which brings us to the actual experience of the thing. Because we say partner, but let's be real. This is not a comfortable partner.
No. It is the opposite of luxury.
Describe what it's actually like to drive one. Because I'm picturing something quaint, but the sources suggest otherwise.
Imagine sitting inside a tin can. The engine is right underneath you.
Literally under the seat.
Right under the seat. It's a two-stroke, so it's loud. It goes pout, 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 pout aggressively. The suspension is, let's call it optimistic. You feel every single cobblestone.
And the smell. They all mention the smell.
That specific mix of gasoline and oil.
Yeah. It sounds like a sensory assault.
It is, but that's the point. It's visceral. You steer with handlebars, you shift the gears with your hand on the clutch lever. You are physically wrestling with it the whole time.
Which makes the perspective of our superfan even more baffling. Let's talk about this guy, Crescenzo Langella.
Right.
He's the central figure in one of the articles, and he calls the experience of driving the ape the last hug.
It's a fascinating metaphor, isn't it?
It's a confusing metaphor. When I think of a hug, I think of something soft, warm, safe.
Yeah, comforting.
I do not think of a vibrating metal cabin that smells like exhaust. How does he even justify that?
I think he's talking about containment. The cabin is tiny. It wraps around you. There's no wasted space. When you're in it, the vibration of that engine travels through the seat and right into your spine. It literally holds you.
So it's a hug in the sense of being squeezed.
It's the familiarity. He talks about it as a presence.
Mm.
You know, modern cars, they insulate you from the world. You're in a silent, climate-controlled bubble.
Right.
In the ape, you are in the world. And for him, that vibration is the vehicle's heartbeat. It's reassuring. It's telling him, I'm here, I'm working, we're in this together.
I guess I can kind of see that. It's like how some people need a fan on to sleep. But Crescenzo takes this to a whole other level. The man took the ape on his honeymoon.
I love this detail.
I mean, can you picture this? You just got married, you're starting your new life together, and Crescenzo says, hop in the three-wheeler, honey, we're off to the coast.
It's a bold move. Very bold.
How does that even work? You can't talk to each other? It must be deafeningly loud.
Maybe that's the secret to a happy marriage. No, but seriously, think about the speed. You're doing maybe 30, 40 kilometers an hour. You aren't rushing. You're taking the slow road.
You're seeing the landscape inch by inch.
Exactly. If you take a Ferrari to the coast, you arrive in an hour and you don't remember the drive. If you take an ape, the drive is the memory.
It's a shared struggle. Did we make it up the hill?
Did we overheat? Yeah. And for him, that solidified the vehicle as part of the family. It was a witness to the most important moment of his life.
Which explains why the news of the factory closing hit him so hard. Let's shift to this idea of betrayal, because that's the word that keeps coming up.
Yes. Betrayal.
But here's what I'm struggling with. The sources also say sales in Italy had dropped off a cliff. People weren't buying them anymore.
That's true.
They've moved on to modern vans, electric delivery bikes, whatever. So isn't it a bit hypocritical to stop buying something and then get mad when they stop making it?
That's the paradox of cultural icons, though. We don't necessarily want to buy them, but we want to know they exist.
We want to know they're being made here.
It's totally an identity thing. The ape is Italian. It represents that post-war grit. So when Piaggio says, okay, we're closing the Tuscany line and moving all production to India, it feels like they are exporting the national soul.
Let's talk about India for a second. Because the ape isn't dying, right? It's
Yeah.
just migrating.
Oh, the ape is alive and well. It's thriving. India is the biggest market in the world for three-wheelers.
The auto rickshaw or the tuk-tuk.
Exactly. It's the lifeblood of cities like Mumbai and Delhi. They are everywhere.
So economically, this move makes perfect sense for the company.
It's the only move that makes sense. The Italian market is a boutique heritage market now. India is a volume business, hundreds of thousands of units.
But the Italian fans aren't comforted by that. In fact, it almost seems to make them angrier. Is that just snobbery?
I don't think it's just snobbery. I think it's a sense of ownership. They feel like the ape belongs to the Italian streets. Seeing it become an exclusively Indian product, even though Piaggio has been making them in India for decades, feels like losing custody of a child.
And there's another layer here, which is the technology. The move to India lines up with this big push toward the e-ape.
The electric model.
Right.
And this is where the hug metaphor really breaks down.
Because an electric motor doesn't vibrate.
It doesn't vibrate, it doesn't make the pout-pout noise, it doesn't smell.
So if you're Crescenzo and your whole love for this thing is based on that sensory feedback, that hug from the engine, the electric version is basically a ghost.
It's a phantom limb. You sit in the cabin, you push the button, and silence. Nothing happens. You move, but you don't feel the machine working.
Even though it's technically better? I mean, no emissions, instant torque.
On paper, it's superior in every way, but we aren't talking about specs, we're talking about soul. The internal combustion engine, with all its flaws, the noise, the heat, the shaking, it feels alive. An electric motor feels like an appliance.
It's a toaster.
It's a toaster. It works, but you don't love it. It's like the difference between a mechanical watch and a smartwatch.
The smartwatch is more accurate, but the mechanical one has a heartbeat.
That's it, exactly. And for the traditionalists, the E8 might look the same, but the heart has been ripped out.
So, faced with this double betrayal, the move to India and the move to electric, what does a guy like Crescenzo do?
He doesn't just write an angry letter to the editor.
No, he goes into full-on preservation mode, an archivist.
The notes say he owns over 70 of them. 70? Where do you even put 70 trucks?
He has a workshop near Milan. And it's not just hoarding, it's a sanctuary. He's collecting different models, rare configurations, he's stockpiling parts, he's building an ark.
He is. He knows that when the factory stops, the knowledge stops. The mechanics who knew how to tune that specific carburetor are all retiring, so he is physically preserving the history.
He's ensuring that 50 years from now, someone can still experience that hug.
Right.
But then we get to the part that proves this isn't just a hobby. This is the part I had to reread 3 times.
The burial request.
Yeah. Crescenzo has formally arranged to be buried in an ape.
It's intense.
Walk me through this.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to be in a coffin in the back of the truck? Or is the truck the coffin?
The implication is that the vehicle is the vessel. He wants to be laid to rest inside the cabin.
I have to be the skeptic here. That sounds so uncomfortable. I mean, spending eternity cramped inside a 3-wheel delivery truck.
We'll go back to his own words, the last hug. If that cabin represents the ultimate safety, the ultimate familiarity, the place where he felt most himself his entire life,
Then it makes perfect sense that he would want to stay there in death.
it's the ultimate comfort object.
Wow.
Some people are buried with a wedding ring or a photo of their kids. He wants to be buried in the machine that defined his existence.
When you put it that way, it's actually kind of beautiful. A little weird, sure, but beautiful.
It really blurs the line between man and machine. It shows that for some people, these aren't just objects. We project our whole lives onto them. That truck contains his honeymoon, his work, his struggles. It's not metal anymore. It's memory.
And I guess that's why the factory closing matters so much. It's not about supply chains. It's about the end of the era that created people like Crescenzo.
Yes, you can build the ape in India, you can put an electric motor in it, you can make it efficient and modern, but you cannot manufacture that specific kind of post-war Italian soul.
That was a product of a specific time and a specific struggle.
Exactly. The electric ape won't give you a hug, it'll just give you a ride.
And for the next generation, maybe that's enough. Maybe they'll find their hug in the silence of the motor or the connectivity of a dashboard. But for the Crescenzos of the world, the lights have gone out.
I think it's a reminder to look at the objects in our own lives. We're moving into a world that's increasingly digital, disposable, and silent.
We're losing the friction.
We are. And friction, the noise, the vibration, the quirks, that's often where the character lives.
I want you, the listener, to think about that. What's the ape in your life? Is it that old coffee grinder that screams every morning but makes the perfect cup?
Is it a beat-up leather jacket that still smells like rain from years ago? What's the thing that, if they stopped making it tomorrow, would make you feel a little less like yourself?
And here's a final thought to chew on, something that's been bothering me.
Go for it.
We're assuming that the hug, that physical connection, requires noise and vibration.
Mm-hmm.
We assume the soul is in the internal combustion engine. But are we just being Luddites?
What do you mean?
I mean, in 50 years, will there be a Crescenzo of the electric era? Will someone be crying because they're stopping production of a specific microchip? Or is there something fundamentally different about analog versus digital?
Can you get a hug from software?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's the million-dollar question. My gut says no. I think the hug requires a heartbeat, even if it's just a piston moving up and down.
I think you might be right. I think we crave the mechanical. We're biological creatures.
We respond to the physical.
Well, on that note, I'm going to go drive my car and actually appreciate the fact that it vibrates a little at stoplights.
Give the dashboard a pat for me.
I will.
Yeah.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. We'll catch you on the next one.